Hey, how's it going, guys? So in this video, I want to go over these Sonos products that I've bought a while back. More particularly, I want to go over the software as well as the speakers themselves. As I'm sure you guys have seen, there are a lot of reviews out there to talk about the software more in depth. So in this video, I just want to give you a very quick rundown on whether you should purchase these speakers in 2025. Now, it should go without saying that I am not sponsored by Sonos. I bought all of these products with my own money. So I have one play bar and I also have one subwoofer. It's the only one. I don't have a combination of two or anything like that. And I have two Sonos One SLs. Now, these are the ones that don't come with Alexa and they're mounted to a wall. So these four products make up the entire sound system for my living room television. So let's take a look at how those perform in my opinion. Now, it goes without saying that the speakers themselves sound absolutely phenomenal. I don't think you will find anyone out there that will say they sound terrible. I don't have these hooked up through HDMI ARC. As a matter of fact, the play bar does not support HDMI ARC, so it's just hooked up through your typical speaker connection. So I do like that the play bar really integrates nicely with the television remote. I don't have to have a separate remote for that or use it through the app. Overall, though, I would say the speakers are just perfect. I have no problems with them audio-wise. Now, where I think you're going to find most of the criticism is with the new app that they released a couple of months ago. I personally think it's one of the worst apps ever made. Not only that, you cannot use the old version of the app. You are forced to update to the new one, as you can see here. I haven't even updated it. So you can't use the old one, but this is what the new one looks like. It asks for a bunch of permissions, which I'm not even sure what they need all those for. I don't even know why it needs Bluetooth. I can't send anything over Bluetooth. And if you look at one of my previous videos, that was one of my criticisms. Now, you probably saw me struggling there to get rid of the little introduction panel. You had to get to the end to close it. Now, I would have been okay with this application if we had the feature to send things to the speakers from our phone. I remember in the old application you could do that. You can no longer do that in this app. It used to be that you can have a playlist where you add the songs in your phone and then you can send it to the speakers. That's not allowed anymore. In addition, you can see that now they're really pushing the subscription services towards you. So it's very hard to find other options to send music to the speakers. For example, there is an option to send things through a shared network drive, but it's very buried in the settings, and this app in general is just not intuitive. Now, you don't have to go far to see all of the complaints that this app has. As a matter of fact, if you go to the Reddit, Sonos, or even their own forums, you'll see a lot of people complain about it. Now, if your whole community is telling you that the app is terrible, then there's something wrong with the app. And in my opinion, Sonos 100% deserves all of the criticism that it's getting for this atrocious app. Now, one of the reasons why Sonos tells us it had to redesign the app is because of the inclusion of new products like the Sonos headphones, which, unsurprisingly, has been rated as one of the worst released products of 2024. Now, if you could not take headphones and add them to the old app, then there is something fundamentally wrong with the way that you are structuring your application. I mean, if you are able to add products like the Arc and the Beam, I don't see how a pair of headphones can just destroy all of that work. Now, perhaps one of my biggest peeves, though, is the fact that the Sonos Trueplay is not available on Android. It is only available on iOS. Now, why Sonos would decide to completely omit this from the Android ecosystem is beyond me. I have tried to look up ways to do this if you have an Android phone, and the response from Sonos is that you should have an iOS device that you can borrow from a friend and then use that to help you use the Trueplay software. That is one of the most ridiculous things that I've heard in order to make something work. Borrow a device from someone that probably doesn't have this ecosystem to make your ecosystem, your Sonos speakers, work well. That is ridiculous. Now, it really saddens me to see this company in its current state. I don't want to say that all of Sonos is bad. I've read a lot of articles that show a lot of the people who work on these products really do have a big passion for the Sonos name and the Sonos brand. It's unfortunately the higher ups that seem to have pushed this application onto users, despite the fact that a lot of developers and people who are working for the company were telling them, hey, this product is not finished, this application is not finished. Knowing that, they still decided to release the headphones and this terrible app. Now, when I first bought these products, I really did think that I was getting some of the best. Now, a lot of people will not agree with that, right? There's Bose and Sony sound systems, but this Sonos ecosystem promised seamless integration and a very rich experience. And when I first bought these products, I will have to agree, it was somewhat seamless, right? They connect over the internet. There's no hiccups. You just set it and forget it, and it delivers every single time. But after the app was released, it just doesn't seem to be going that way anymore. So if you just want these speakers to connect to your TV once and then just have it that way permanently, then that's great. These speakers will absolutely serve that purpose. But honestly, if you're just going to use them for that, you might as well get a different system. If you plan to use these speakers with your phone, for example, you want to send stuff from your phone over to the speakers, I would say stay away from that. The features that were promised once before just aren't there anymore. For example, sending stuff from your phone. The playlist has never worked great. So I would stay away from Sonos in 2025 until it can get it all back together. And it really seems like it's starting to head that way, because after editing this video, it seems like Sonos has let go of the CEO who was responsible supposedly for pushing this application and terrible product out. So hopefully that is shining a new era on Sonos. But unfortunately, the damage might already be done. We don't know if Sonos can regain its reputation, but we're just going to have to sit back and watch and see what Sonos does. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like button. Otherwise, take care. Bye-bye.